The following program is being brought to you on the Seventh Wave Network. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit seventhwavenetwork.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the hosts or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Whole and complete. There are no mistakes. We are not victims. This is The Psychology of Spirit with your host, AuKeeRa Rayne. Feel empowered. This program will provide a forum to bring a refreshing view on life. And now, here's AuKeeRa Rayne.
Hi, welcome back to The Psychology of Spirit. I'm AuKeeRa Rayne. Over the past 2 weeks, we've discussed fear, and we've discussed that we are spirit first. Today we are going to talk about reality perception. What creates the reality that we live in every single day? What creates what we see around us and how we perceive it? What role do we play in that? What exactly are we in control of in this reality of ours? It comes down to one simple thought. What you think becomes your external reality. What on earth does that mean? It's very simple, actually, when you get the hang of it. But at first it sounds like very much a foreign concept. We are taught that our reality is created from our external to our internal, meaning that what we see around us creates what we think and what we feel. However, I pose another theory. Is it possible that what we think creates what we see? Now, there's many theories to support this. Law of attraction is one of them. The simple statement, I think, therefore I am, also supports it. But how actually do we gain control of this then? We are taught to control our external. We are taught to set goals. We are taught to move forward in the life that we see around us. And we are taught that the things that we own create who we are and show other people how successful we are. We are taught that our image reflects to other people who we are. So most of us do not monitor our thoughts. We don't think about what we're thinking. We simply go through life living it to the best of our ability, meaning our actions, our emotions. We never really have thought about what it means to create our internal reality and reflect it to our external. So let's break it down. Every day for a little while, monitor your thoughts, what you're thinking. You will find they are very ego-driven, like most of us. We think about all sorts of ridiculous things, and usually they're overwhelming. The tone of voice is not overly kind. We think about concepts that we've had since we were 8 years old. We see a reality that most of the time isn't there anymore. So take a moment when you have time and just simply jot down some of the thoughts you notice mulling around in your head. I'm going to be late. I don't have enough time. Hurry up. What are you thinking? I'm fat. I'm not doing good enough. I don't make enough money. I'm broke. People don't like me. Look at all the thoughts that you are having swirling around in your head. Understand that they are creating a feeling within you that reflects out onto your external reality. When we are in a so-called negative headspace, we tend to see the world around us as a non-supportive place. If you're having a bad day, many things seem to be going wrong, right? We all understand this as well. So when you look at those thoughts that you've written down, right beside each one, write down a thought that would balance that. Remember, as I've spoken about before, the idea is balancing our thoughts, not getting rid of negative thought, but rather than getting rid of, putting in balance. So, I'm running out of time. I don't have enough time. A balancing thought could be, I have enough time. It's a very simple concept. The thought, I'm fat, which most women have, by the way, could be balanced with, I love myself. Write down balancing thoughts and then purposefully start enacting them, which means start thinking about them, just adding them in. And at first it will feel awkward. You'll feel really silly doing it. But remember, no one can hear what you're thinking. What this does is it puts in a balance of our thought processing so that we can begin to create an external world for ourselves that actually is beautiful. Even though we're not going to change anything in our external world, our perception of what we see around us will shift because our perception of ourselves is shifting. Another really good exercise that you might want to try is asking yourself, if I could do anything, what would I do? A lot of times we also feel overtaken by our external reality simply because we feel we have no control within it. When a person feels out of control, this world seems very overwhelming and extremely scary. Remember, we talked about fear before. Fear runs rampant today. A wonderful exercise is, if I could do anything, what would I do? How would I look? And when you do this exercise, the idea is to allow it to be freeing. It doesn't matter what you look like now or what your life is now. It's just an imaginary life. When we use our imagination, it actually physiologically affects the body. It's proven that our thoughts can have the same effect on our human bodies as if we were actually living the experience. So what it does, in turn, is it opens our mind to many different possibilities. A lot of times we miss possibilities because we are taught that they are not possible. We are taught that we are not worthy of those things. Our society teaches us that we are not worthy of many, many things. And yet, a lot of us don't know if we could have anything, what would that really be? A lot of us say, well, I'd win the millions. Really? Would you? Okay, so what would you do with it once you did? I'd buy this, I'd buy that. But would you actually feel good? Would you actually wake up every morning, finally, and be grateful to be alive? Would you actually look in the mirror and say, I love my life, just because you won millions and you own everything you want? Remember, reality is created from internal to external. What you think creates the world that you feel you are living in. And regardless of that external reality that's going on, regardless of your house, your family, your job, regardless of that, how it feels to you is dictated by you. A lot of us don't like to take responsibility for ourselves. Trust me, we don't. We are the first ones to blame other people for how we're feeling, how we're thinking, and what's happening in our lives. Why? Because that's the ego's job. Also, our society teaches us we are not enough to be in control of what's happening in our world. We are not enough to have that responsibility. Again, I pose another view. I believe we are capable. I believe we are the right ones to decide how our lives feel for us. Even in the most uncomfortable situation, we can decide it is serving a purpose. Easy to do? No. It's easier to blame someone else. That's why we do it. It's easier to say, I can't control this, because then we don't have to take responsibility for it. But remember, I also work on the view that there are no mistakes. So if you take a moment and think about each second of your day is the only second you have in your life, and in that moment, you're doing the best that you can. you add in the balance of your thoughts, then add in the fact that what you think creates your external reality. You see that you are in full control of your life. A lot to take in? Yes, to some degree it is. Because up until this point, everything that's taught us around us teaches us the exact opposite. Religion has taught us that we must achieve the most that we can to gain a place besides the one that we believe in. The New Age movement has taught us that we need to heal, that we need to learn in order to achieve what we're supposed to be. Everything up until this point has been teaching us we're not enough. Take another look. What if we are enough? What if we're enough right now? Right here, right now. And the only thing that we need to do is add to who we are already. Not because we're not enough, but because we can. Because we are able to experience something bigger than ourselves. That is, in fact, ourselves. Well, how do you do that? Again, back to thoughts. So let's break it down. Let's go back into what type of exercises we can do to help ourselves get in our own driver's seat. In my book, Journey, there's a chapter called Journey to the Self. The book is called From Above with Love, Basic Knowledge 1. It is available through McNally Robinson in Canada, in Saskatoon, but of course you can find it on the web. In the first chapter, it breaks it down to help us focus on what we're thinking now and what we believe to be our reality right now. Like I said before, there's a lot of things that we've decided in our life and then never re-examine. Certain fears. We'll be scared of, say, spiders when we're really young. And we have a valid fear of spiders because, when you're little, a spider looks really huge. But as you grow older, the reality of it is a spider can really not hurt you. And we have to work to recheck these fears and concepts on a regular basis. We'll discuss more right after this break.